Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Kim here, and today is our Antonio Makes Monday. So, I had talked about doing all packaging over the next few weeks using some of Antonio's kits. And I do have some other things planned, but something that I had planned for today, I got up this morning and I watched a video and somebody did something very, very similar. So I said, "Oh, well, okay, I got to change my game here." I didn't want to do the same thing differently. Only because, I don't want to steal someone else's thunder, of course. And I figured, I can show you that later on down the road, maybe in the spring. So I went back to Antonio's kit and I'm working with a different kit today. And I looked at his kit and I thought, okay, well, what am I going to do? I do have other things planned, but I wasn't quite ready for them. And I looked at his kit and I thought, you know what? His kits, they dictate right away what to do. You don't have to dream up anything to do with his kits. And so I just played around with the kit, doing some of the stuff here, and I had a blast. I almost forgot to turn the camera on and get started. And in fact, I had to go back and reprint the kit because I had used a good portion of it. So first, let me show you the kit, and then I'll get into all of this stuff here. So the kit is 9 pages, and it's called Vintage Christmas. And the very first, I think this is page 9, actually, is this milk carton. And I've seen his milk carton on his pages before. This is it here. It is so cute, and it is so easy to make. I couldn't believe it. And so the first thing that came to mind, just for myself when I saw the kit, is, wouldn't this be cute to have your kids or your grandkids, if they're staying with you at Christmas, to leave this for Santa under the tree with cookies in it, knowing that, Santa gets a lot of cookies. And maybe he could take some home to share with Mrs. Claus, or, maybe he could have them later or share them with the reindeer, because reindeer eat cookies too. Excuse me. But I just thought it would be a fun little way to package up some cookies for Santa when the kids are getting them ready, because it comes in a milk carton. So you can have a glass of milk there because he's always thirsty, because he's busy, but he can take the cookies and have them later because he's got so much to do. So I just thought this would be a fun little thing with kids, because it's a milk carton. But it's also a fun way of packaging, to give as a gift anyway, whether you put some chocolates or a couple of cookies, or some other little surprise in there. You could fill it full of jelly beans. And so I just thought it was such a cute little idea. I'm going to make a bunch of these. Antonio, I really love these. And I don't know that, I've seen it here and there, that you show the printable, but I couldn't find anywhere where you'd actually made one. I've seen them made, but I hadn't seen one put together. But they're super, super easy. It's really follow the lines, but we'll get into that in a little bit later. So that was one of the things. And then of course I had this little tag, and this is made from some other stuff coming up in another page. So then he's got a page of individual cutouts that you can use for making greeting cards. You could make notebooks. You can use it to decorate a journal. So many possibilities. And then here's the page with the little circles. And as you can see, I've cut out different ones. Now, this is about a 1.5 inch punch. But I think when I printed these, I may have printed them to fit the page and not actual size. So when I punch them, they leave a little tiny white space around it, which is fine because you can't really notice it on here. Well, this one is different. It's not that big of a deal. And then I put them on a 2-inch heavier cardstock punch. But again, I will show you that in a second. So there are other parts in here. Of course, there's some slotted envelopes to, you could use to put ephemera in. There's pockets for doing journals. And then there's the envelopes. There's 3 on a page here. Now I only had 8.5 by 14 paper in cream colored. I didn't want it to be white. I really wanted the vintage color look. So I printed a stack of envelopes here and then tied it with a little tag, and I'll get into my reasoning for that in a bit. So there's the envelopes. And then, of course, this page is, full size, so it would make a beautiful journal cover or, a signature cover if you're putting it into a heavier, maybe a fabric journal cover. But this would be a nice cover page, definitely. He's got some collage pages, but these, again, can all be individually cut out for decorating all kinds of things for your journals. Here's another one. So you can use it as a full-size sheet to put in your journal, or you can cut them up individually. And another one. I love this long image. Though I haven't done anything with this today, it would make a really cute belly band on a journal. Definitely lots of possibilities. And the other thing that I like about these type of pages is you can cut them up into strips or across and use it sort of as a washi tape, which is something that I did do today. So that's the 9 pages. And I'm going to go back and start now with the milk carton. Excuse me. And where did I put my milk carton? Because I cut it out already. So I'm not actually going to do much with it. It's already cut out and it's already scored. And you score it along all of these black lines. And I just cut it out right from the cardstock. And I printed this on regular cardstock so that it has some weight to it. And the only problem I ran into is when I'm scoring, because the size is... like I said, I may have printed them to fit the page, not actual size, or vice versa. I don't know. So I found that I couldn't line up all of the lines and score it. So I had to kind of match it up to a line, made sure that it came out on the other end here, as much as I could see. And then I just kind of, played feely around with my stylus until I was able to score the lines. And so once you line them up, there was no problem scoring. The black lines are perfect to line it up. Same with going the other way. I had to, because it wasn't exactly a 1/2 inch for this first one, for me, I had to line it up as best as I could. Make sure it came out on the other end. I don't know if you can see the other end of my cutter or not. Can't tell. And now you can. So when you line it up here to the slot, then you just have to make sure that you're lined up to the slot on this other end at that side. And the only other thing that I had a little bit of an issue with was trying to score these lines. And so I just sort of lined it up where I thought it matched. I did kind of with a ruler, and I just kind of, and then you kind of feel where the dent is. And then once you find it, it's not bad to score in there. So that was the only things that I had with the scoring, but otherwise it went really well. And so once it's scored, it is so basic to put together. I was just floored. Antonio, you've done a really perfect slice for this. I don't know how to explain it. Like the folds fold perfectly in place, and once you've scored it, everything just lines up and matches, no problem. And so I started out by gluing these to the one bottom. So I'll just quickly do that for you. And you probably could use your hot glue as well. And then there's the other flap. Yeah, this was so fun. And I'm going to make a pile of these and send them out in the mail, because and then these little flaps get folded in as well. And so then I just ran across the bottom here. Now your acetate glue would probably work better because it would be a much quicker fold. Or a much quicker adhering to the other piece than this one is. But I can sort of still get my fingers in there, and because it is a small little box, but it sure is awesome. I'm going to try printing these on a larger piece of paper to see how big I can get them. I just love these, Antonia. They're so cute. And I've seen that you've done them in other designs for year-round. So now I'm just gluing on the bottom, or on this flap here, to close the box completely. And so you'll see what I mean right away, how quickly this thing gets put together and how it's just so easy. Okay, so I did kind of hold this a little bit because, you know, I was impatient and wasn't waiting for the glue to dry. So I did hold that little flap, and then you just kind of ease it in, and the point will point. And then same with on this side, you just kind of ease it in from both sides. And look at that. It is done. I just need to, you know, fine tune the glue is still wet here, but it is done. Oh, I see. I've got a dent in there. I think I forgot to actually put a fold on this line here, but it will. Sure, it will, Kim. Maybe you didn't put a score there. I don't know. There we go. And so now it is ready to go. It's ready to fill up with any kind of goodness that you want to put in there. I liked the idea of, I thought at first I would staple it. But then I thought, you know what? If you staple it, then somebody's going to just tear it open and it's done, right? So instead, I put the 2 holes on the top, and I just took my hole punch. And I don't know, maybe you have seen Antonio make these. I have not. And, you know, maybe it's time for a refresher or a reminder that he has these in his kits. And so 2 holes that I use with my crocodile, are made with my crocodile. And then you can take string, or you can take red ribbon. This one I'm going to do with some string. And so if you tie it closed instead of stapling it, then you know that there's a chance that somebody will reuse it again. Okay. I see my string bunched up on me a little bit. Moment of silence while I try to feed this. Okay, not going that way. Maybe if I folded it down. Okay, we will work on that separately with bigger holes. Because we're on camera, it just makes it easier to do it with the ribbon. Now you could use curling ribbon as well and then, you know, take your scissors and tie it up with curls. But I really liked the vintage look to this. I didn't want to dress it up with too much glittery stuff. So I didn't really use any of that kind of thing today. I kept it very plain so that it's easy to, or to make it look like it's antique, like old. And so I'm going to tie a knot in here, and then we will put a gift tag on here. Now, these ones I already have with ties on them to tie on a package if you were going to tie them on. And so I don't have any left, so we're going to have to make one. And I had some pre-made die cuts that I had cut into circle shape a while back that I'm going to use. But I just used my 2-inch punch. And this is just file folder, and I've glued some book page on top. And so it's easy enough to make a tag from, or a tag from scratch, and then glue your circle on it. So for the circles, I need the other paper. Of course, they're not in any particular order, right? Here we go. So for the circles, I used a different size punch, which is this is 1 3/4, and I think these are either 1 1/2 or they're printed differently than you know, my printer printed them differently. Just have to take this little edge off here first. And yes, all of these extra pieces will get used up for tag backs or journal card backs, or so I don't waste my paper. Okay, so I just lined it up. And knowing that there's that little bit of a white edge, but it really doesn't make a difference. It just frames the circle nicely anyway. I love these so much. And then I ended up being short because I wanted to show you more things with the tags. So I just went to one of the images that I really liked. In this case, I really like the Santa. And so I just cut him out. So now there won't be that white edge because I'm cutting right into the middle of the picture. Which is how I did this tag. I just cut the church and the country scene, the country village, out of the tag. And then I can save this for something else. So once it was cut out, I just put some glue on the back. And glued it to my cardstock base. Now you could print these right out of cardstock if you want, and then just hole punch them. And then hole punching. And going back to my little milk carton here. I've already tied a knot in the ribbon. Maybe I should ink that first, eh? Just to give it a little bit of an aged look. You don't have to, but I like that dark coloring. And just like that, I have another little milk carton all ready to go. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, these are so stinking cute. Love it, love it, love it. Oh my goodness, I'm just going to have a blast with these. You can further decorate them by enhancing them with some of the other images. In fact, you could do a raised embellishment on top by just using these round circles or any other shape as well. So this was one of my favorite of Antonia's, and I'm going to be making a lot of them. I know that already. So I'm just going to get this out of the way. And so this next one, I'm not going to go into huge details about this, except to say it's a stacked envelope, and then I've added another tag on here. So the stacked envelope was the set of 3 envelopes that came in the kit. Just gotta find it. There's just so much stuff in here, Antonio. It's just great. Here we go. So there's the 3 envelopes on the page. You just have to cut them out, ink the edges, and fold them up into an envelope shape. So the reason I stacked them is I just thought this would be a fun little gift to give someone like a teenager. Now, I don't know about in your family, but in our family, as soon as we had teenagers, like my nieces and nephews, you would say to them, what do you want for Christmas? What can I get you for Christmas that you would like to have? And, you know, almost right away, money. They want money. They don't want anything else. They don't want you to buy them socks. And heaven forbid I should buy them, you know, SpongeBob underwear when they're 15. So not that I would buy them underwear anyway, but it, you know, it was a joke. But, you know, they want money. And so, you know, just to give them money, you have to make them work a little bit more for it than just handing out the cash. So I thought, you know, you could have some fun with this by giving them a stacked envelope, and you can give them several. And just put a few dollars in each one. And I thought, like, you could have one envelope where you offer some type of a coupon. You know, maybe you are the chauffeur of the day or something, and you can say 1 free chauffeur. You know, no fee required or something. Or you could make it a get out of jail free card where, you know, maybe they didn't fold their laundry or didn't put something away or didn't do a job. They can use their get out of jail free card. You know, just giving you a few ideas. You could also wrap up gift cards. It's fine to give them money, but it's also good to give them gift cards. You know, they like to go to McDonald's or Burger King or whatever places they like to go to. So you could give them a gift card for a small amount of money, and then use the larger envelope for, you know, some bigger money. Or, you know, again, you can play with this and give them all kinds of things where there's a little bit of cash or a little bit of a coupon or something different than the norm. And it's a great way to give them money, but you don't have to give it to them all in one package, and you don't have to give it to them, you know, you don't have to give them just that. So I thought a stack of envelopes would be fun. And it's not just for teenagers. It would be fun for people of all age. You can have coupons, you can have favors you'll do, or maybe a special meal that you'll cook. So those coupons are a great way to, you know, where they can call you up on it with a coupon and take advantage of whatever it is that they like. So, you know, 3 envelopes stacked up. They were right there. All I had to do was cut them out, fold them, and then after now I just glued them together for the sake of this video, but I would fill each one with whatever was going in it, and then I would just tack it with a little bit of glue just to hold them in place so that they don't run loose, and then again to decorate it with a nice handmade tag. So that was my envelope idea for that. Excuse me. And then, of course, you know, this could be one for the big money if you're dealing with teenagers. Or maybe you have something like a DVD you want to wrap up, or maybe you've got some photos to give to grandma or to an aunt. You know, maybe you had your wedding photos that you haven't given out, or new baby photos, something. So I thought, you know, then you could make your own collaged envelope instead of just giving them a plain white envelope. You could collage on the envelope, using all of the goodies that come in Antonio's kit. I just decorated it and then wrapped it with the string through the tag, and very easy to do. We are in the middle of doing Happy Mail right now with the Happy Mail movement in on my channel. So making envelopes was super easy. So I just took a piece of music sheet out of I don't know, Wine, Women, and Song is probably not the song, the words to use, but Tales from the Vienna Woods. That sounds fine to me. So all I did was I cut off this rough edge. Now, if you follow my envelope or my channel, you'll see that I do have a full tutorial for making these envelopes. But I pretty much just folded it up to an envelope shape from the bottom and then folded the flap down over in the top. And then on either side, I do about 1/2 inch, which is my index finger wide, approximately. Doesn't have to be perfect. I make these envelopes pretty much in my sleep now because I have so many to mail out from my Happy Mail movement. Now, you can get bigger things in these envelopes, you know, something a little bit bigger. But for the most part, you want it for something that's flat. So where the folds meet in the corners here, I always take a pen. Of course, now I need one. Am I going to find it in here? Here we go. And it's the 4 corners that you want to take out that are along the fold. So this is pretty much what you want to take out. Same with on the bottom. You're taking out this whole flap. Oop, that wasn't very straight, but that's on the inside. So when you take it out, I cut sort of on an angle here and here, because these are going to be the flaps that fold in for your envelope. And then I cut along the fold line, but on the inside of the fold line, so that you don't have that little wonky piece of paper crumpling against your envelope. And so same with here, I cut straight, but on the inside of the fold towards the envelope, so that you don't have that little foldy bit, the creasing. So here I do the same thing. I make my flaps going to the corners. And cut out these folded pieces. Now I do have a more detailed tutorial on my YouTube channel. So here are the 2 flaps, and then I just have to fold this up and glue the 2 edges. You can make it fancy and scalloped, but for the sake of this video, I'm not going to, and I really didn't on that one either. And so just collaging it closed, or collaging, gluing it closed first. I think my glue is running out here. There we go. So I'm gluing on the paper that's folding up instead of on the flaps, because you'll see that the flaps do go a little bit beyond the envelope here. And so now my envelope is ready to decorate. And all I've done is taken some of the images and cut them out. And you can get as fancy as you want. You can get as full as you want. I just wanted this old-fashioned Christmas look. So I just added all kinds of images on my envelope. And then there's this little plaid piece here that I'm cutting out. Probably could have had some ready for you guys, but I didn't. And what I did is I used this like a washi tape. So I just cut it into strips, sort of like tape, like a faux washi. I just cut my fingernails, so I can't pick anything up. And I'm going to take this one too. Yeah, I'm just going to take my ink and ink around the edges just a little bit. Okay, so all I'm doing is gluing these down to create a collaged look. Probably could use my glue stick for this. It might come to that if my glue doesn't cooperate. I'm going to actually put this down a little bit further. And then, I'm going to use my glue stick. I can find it in this heap of mess here. Here we go. And then I just took the washi tape that I made and just applied a little bit of glue on it. Of course, you can use your own washi tapes, the real stuff if you have. And you can, you can decorate this with lace and trims. I just used it as a way to fill in some spots. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it look like tape. And I inked around the edges, and I thought of adding like stickers and glittery ribbon and stuff like that, but I really wanted to keep it simple. I wanted to keep it looking vintage. I didn't want a lot of glitz and glam on these things, so I just inked it. I had a green ink pad, and I just inked a little bit around the edges with the green. Let me see, I have a spot there that's sticking up. And it doesn't have to be music paper that you use for your envelope. I've used brown paper bags for things like this. So it's whatever you have on hand. And the whole idea is to create packaging that is different, very inexpensive to make, and just a little bit more, fun than wrapping your gifts the traditional way, right? And wherever we can do something that looks different than the average person, I don't know. I like homemade anything. And so to have this kind of packaging to me just is fun. So on the back side of this, I continued with the decorating. I added a little bit of ribbon and lace on the flap. Nothing spectacular. And then more washi and whatever in between. So I'm not going to decorate the whole thing for you. But since I had cut that piece of twine, The only thing I did was I tied on, you know, if you had something inside of it already, it would make it easier to do, of course. Because wherever you can allow somebody to reuse the packaging. Now, do I have another tag here? Please tell me I haven't. No, I don't have to make one. Okay. Oop. I'm going to use these ones that have the words on them already. The book page on it. And then okay, got it through. Okay. So a piece of string. Now it's a little bit loose because there's nothing in it, of course, and I don't want to put too much pressure on the envelope. But just like that, you have a nice little way of packaging photographs or a small booklet or, you know, maybe a DVD or some type of thing like that for a family member that looks a little bit nicer than just putting it in a plain white envelope. So that's my packaging ideas for you. And then you can always make all the other tags that you need for your other gifts the same way and have them ready to go. And your envelope stacks and more envelopes. And what a decorative bunch this is going to be. And these milk cartons, what fun. Another thing that you can use this large envelope for, which again is great to have with the kids or with your grandkids, is let them decorate an envelope and then give a letter to Santa that they can have with the cookies and the milk, and you got it all covered. So I hope you enjoyed this today. That's my little bit of packaging for you, and it was so simple. It was Antonio's kit. Now this kit is a 9-page kit. Oh, I'm going to be playing with this for a couple of days. It's a 9-page kit. It's available on his website, and the link is down below in my description below. If you decide you want to go get this kit, because it is really cute, just go to his website, and if you put in the code KIM, Kim, in capital letters, and the number 10, all one word, at checkout, you will get a 10% discount. So not only do you get a discount, you're purchasing and supporting Antonio and his lovely kits, and I get a little commission from it as well. So it's a win-win for everybody. And what a beautiful kit. And, you know, you get to print this over and over and over again. So you can use this so many ways. We haven't even made a journal. Look at what we're making without even making a journal. So I hope you enjoyed this. Tomorrow will be my Techniques Tuesday video, something different again. But yeah, definitely run with scissors to Antonio's website and pick up this kit, because you're just going to have so much fun with it. I wish you all a very creative day and a creative week. It is Monday. Antonio makes Monday. And it's a little overcast, and it's, you know, we see some snowflakes, but they're disappearing, they're melting. So that's a good sign. But otherwise, I wish you all a very creative week, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.